Tonight's meeting is available to the public on Broomfield's live streaming YouTube channel. Authority members, licensees, and the public are able to attend the meeting remotely by clicking the meeting link listed on the agenda or by calling 888-788-0099. Thank you for your participation in tonight's remote meeting, where the format is focused on efforts to comply with COVID-19 pandemic health and safety guidelines while ensuring review and approval of business items. Authority members, along with staff, remain committed to conducting city business, engaging with our applicants, and supporting our community in the best way possible. On behalf of the local licensing authority and Broomfield staff, we appreciate your patience as we all move forward through this unprecedented event together. We're grateful to all residents for doing their part to help flatten the curve and keep Broomfield healthy and safe. The local licensing authority meeting is called to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Berlin.
Present.
Broom.
Here.
Jezierski. Marsh-Holson.
Here.
Murray.
Here.
Starkovich.
Thank you. We do have a quorum, and Mr. Marsh-Holson, you're a voting member tonight. Agenda item 2 is disposition of minutes. Each member of the authority has a copy of the minutes of the May 5th, 2021 licensing authority meeting. Are there any corrections or additions to the minutes? Seeing none, the minutes of the meeting of the licensing authority of May 5th, 2021 stand approved as submitted by the Assistant City Clerk. Agenda item 3A, Pacific Heritage Inn of Broomfield, LLC, doing business as Homewood Suites Broomfield, Boulder Hilton Gardens Inn, Broomfield, Boulder. New hotel and restaurant license application, boundary setting. Members of the authority have a copy of the application along with the agenda memorandum which sets forth the staff's review. Will the staff please summarize the material?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. All that's necessary at this point is to note the receipt of the application, establish the neighborhood boundaries, and set a date and time for the hearing. The suggested neighborhood boundary is the area within a radius of 1 mile from the premises proposed for this license.
Thank you. Do we have an applicant present?
Yeah, Ben Britton with Mesner Reeves on behalf of applicant Pacific Heritage in Broomfield, LLC.
Welcome, Mr. Britton. What is your position with the applicant?
I'm sorry, what is our relation with the applicant?
Yes, if you would, please.
Our law firm represents the applicant.
Thank you. Do you have any objections to the proposed neighborhood boundary being of 1 mile?
I do not.
Thank you. Do you have any questions before we move forward with the motion?
I do not.
Thank you. What's the pleasure of the licensing authority? May I have a motion, please?
Mr. Chair, I move that the local licensing authority note receipt of the application for a new hotel and restaurant license at 570 through 576 Flatiron Boulevard, Broomfield, Colorado, 80020. That the local licensing authority set a public hearing on said application for 5:30 p.m. on July 7, 2021 to be held in the City Council chambers of the George A. Ciro City and County Building or remotely, and that the local licensing authority establishes the neighborhood boundaries for the public application as the area within a radius of 1 mile from the applicant's proposed location as attached.
Thank you. Is there a second, please? Ms.
Second.
Kroom, thank you. There is a motion and a second. I do have one quick question. Regarding the address 570 through 576, is that the actual mailing address or how is that determined?
So that will be the physical address. The mailing address as listed on the application, I believe, I just had it pulled up here, would be the 4520 36th Ave, South Fargo address.
So the 570 through 576, is that a block number?
I believe it is actually, let me just look at the map again real quick. Yeah, 570 through 576 appears to be the entirety of the block on which that building's kind of located there.
Ms. Gilbert, which one do we go with?
Those have the leases.
The lease is listed as that block of addresses, so the licensed premise proposed will expand that through that whole block, including those numbers. So I think we can take that range as the licensed premise.
Okay. Is there any further discussion on the motion? Seeing no further discussion, will the clerk please call the roll?
Berlin,
Aye.
Groom,
Aye.
Marsh Holston,
Aye.
Murray.
Aye.
Thank you. That motion passes. Mr. Britton, we will most likely see you next month. Thank you very much for being here.
Sounds great. Thank you, everyone.
And before we leave this matter, I just want to say for the record that at this point in time, we anticipate that hearing date and time and location to be, the location to be at our city and county building, and that hearing is expected to take place in person. So I just want to say that at this point in time, we don't expect it to be a Zoom meeting or remotely. So just want to make that clear.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. That'll be a relief to see everyone again. Thanks. Move to agenda item 4, petitions and communications, violation report update. Anything new other than the document?
No, sir. We are working with the police department to, they're getting some new folks in. So we are actually going to have a training with the someone from the LED coming down to do some training with our officers and us so we can make sure that we are doing everything according to the latest requirements. So at this point, we're working on getting the schedule started back, and they are doing, the police are back to doing the inspections before we're sending out renewal licenses and so forth. So we're kind of getting back into the swing of everything.
Thanks.
Good.
Will the public be notified, or will the license holders be notified that the police are doing compliance checks again?
That's kind of up in the discussion at this point. They haven't really decided. There's been some kind of back and forth of, you know, especially when they're doing the sting operations, about giving any kind of notice, because it kind of negates the point, I guess. But they are going in and just kind of, basically what I do is after these meetings, I'm sending over a report to the police department for all the ones that are due for renewal within the next 45 days. And the police are going out and doing their just compliance checks from that point. As far as like going in and doing the sting operations and so forth, they're still kind of working on that.
Okay, thanks. I think Leon and I once had a discussion that it's counterproductive to let them know we're going to be here in the next day or so, so be on your best behavior.
Yeah.
Samantha, who is the new supervisor in charge of the law enforcement section of the police department?
Oh gosh, we have. Oh, good grief! Hold on one moment. I'm sorry. Let me pull up their names because it's eluding me at this point.
It used to be Sergeant Isaacson, but I don't know who took it over after him.
No, we've got Brad Goodwin now.
Okay.
He is the main one, and then there's somebody else. But Brad Goodwin is the one that they've been telling me to send everything to.
Okay, great, perfect. Just like to follow the bouncing ball.
Right.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thanks. We'll move to agenda item 5, Police Department report. There are no police department reports. City and county attorney's report. I think she may have already given it.
Yes, and that's basically it. We are doing the in-person meetings. We expected to roll that out in July for our next meeting. We will not be doing a hybrid version. It will be back to everyone being required to be in chambers, and we will record the meeting on audio as been our past practice. And if we have a very long agenda, our agendas have not been very long, we will schedule a light meal before it, but I expect these to be fairly short. So we will not be doing meals for if the agenda is, 4 or 5 items.
Very good. Thanks.
I have a frivolous comment about that, Pat. I think if we add
No,
up,
okay. If it involves the word lobster, no.
I will take the word lobster out of it. If we add up all the short meetings that I haven't eaten for the last year, I think you owe us at least a bag of Fritos or something at the next meeting.
Yeah.
Regardless of the timing.
I can do Fritos.
Tell her you don't want lobster, you want a crustacean dinner. There you go.
Yes.
See, now I would have gone for like margarita or something with alcohol in it.
There we go.
And I just saw in the news that if you have allergic reactions to shellfish and things like that, don't eat cicadas when they pop up on the East Coast
Ooh,
because they're related to lobsters.
wow, those are scary looking bugs.
Yeah, good to know. So
I was really looking forward to going out and eating a few bugs.
darn, I was hoping to do that too.
Yeah, I just have one final thing, serious note. Some of you folks weren't on the meeting earlier when I brought this up. I had lunch a couple weeks ago at Chipotle, 120th at Sheridan, and on their posting board where they have the notice about no service under the age of 21, they had a thing. It was a notice from the Department of Revenue notifying patrons that if you're under the age of 50, you have to produce ID. I'd never seen it before. I took a photograph of it. So I was going to send it to Pat and Sam to maybe they could share it with the board for our next meeting and see if we'd like to maybe have that included in any renew packets or new packets, in addition to every other notification document that we give the applicants. I'd never seen it before, and I thought it was a cool idea. And I thought it might take some pressure off the employees of having to ask the 45-year-old for an ID. If it's right there at the entrance, you might be asked for ID if you're under age 50. And it was from DOR. So I'll send that to Pat and Sam, and then
That's
maybe
good.
share it with you guys next month.
That would be nice to have.
I love it.
I'm sorry, Dave, Gary, what?
I said that would be nice to see. Thanks.
Okay, yep. We'll get it to you guys next month then. Cool. That's all.
Great.
That's all for frivolity I got, folks.
James, anything from you?
No, I'm good. Thanks.
Tim, are you good?
Good.
All right. Anything for the good of the group? And we stand adjourned.
All right.
Thanks, folks.
Bye,
See you next
everybody.
month.
See you next month. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Right.